Hey StarCrafters, welcome to the channel. Wookie here. Thanks for tuning in, and today's game is Moi with the Good Game Good Luck on Antigua Shipyard versus my Protoss opponent. His name, swear to God, is Bigus Dickus. Cracked me up. So, so I mean, imagine me on the load-in screen, and my opponent's name is Bigus Dickus. I'm like, I wonder what that's Latin for. I don't know if you speak Latin. Uh, Let me know in the comments below what Bigus Dickus means, because I don't know. But we see the scouts going out, and what I want to talk about this game is my opening. I don't know, up to expandish. So here's the production tab, and I'm doing my my standard openings. If you ever run into me on the ladder, just know that I'm probably going to 3-gate expand, because that's what I've been doing lately. I've been having a lot of fun. I'm even doing that like in twos and whatnot, because I just enjoy it, and I feel like it's good macro practice. So we've got 1-gate cybernetics core. The gas went down at about 14 when this was halfway done. There's a zealot, and he apparently was not on hold position. Bad zealot. I have scouted his base, and that was all good, and I saw, normal things coming from Biggest Dickless. And I go about my game. Here's a big old queue up command for the scouting probe, but Stalker's on the way. We are chrono boosting out our warp gates. I'm, of course, at ×2 speed. And we can see that my opponent is going robo, and I should know that because I did run through there, but I don't know that I actually saw it. I don't remember. I don't think I did. But here's my 3 gateways now, and this is about halfway done. I try to drop 2 more gateways, so hopefully that these gateways and my warp gate technology finishes at about the same time. That's the plan anyway, bring in the second gas as the robotics facility goes down. If you'll notice, this is 3-gate robo, right? And then I'm going to head down here, drop a pylon, and try to expand, which is all really good. There's the gate, the robo. There should be an observer coming out of there, and right there. So that's good. And I usually chrono that sucker out because it's important, right? And you can see I've got a pylon in the 3rd to watch for expand. I'm still poking around here. I'm poking around with my observer, and I come out, drop the expand, cancel it because I put it in the wrong position. Totally didn't see this. Totally missed it. And then let's count. Minus. Let's count the seconds before I actually move any of my probes. So what was that? 10ish, 11ish. So that was a full load of zealots plus a warp-in of zealots, and Biggest Dickus is tearing up my mineral line. I put my probes. I meant to click them on the mineral patch. I guess I didn't. Looks like I got some of them. Now I have plenty of stuff to deal with 8 zealots. But if we look at this little thing here, you can see that he took out 15 workers. And I have killed one of his. It was his scout. Units killed, 17 total, so he killed two of my combat units. I killed 9 of his, but he managed to get 15 workers before I was able to engage the zealots. My Nexus took a little bit of hull damage, but not too much. And so I'm going to call that a very effective warp prism drop. And I am painfully behind. The units tab shows I have 14 workers to 25, and there's really no coming back from that. I probably should have counter rushed right now, because just looking at what I've got, like, it didn't occur to me in game. Where did that guy come from? Probably the same deal. It didn't occur to me in game that that was everything he had, and that I was super far ahead as far as army goes. The only thing I was concentrating on was probes, and so I start making tons and tons of probes. Excuse me. Wow, did that come through the mic? I apologize if it did. Um, so I'm just so obsessed with trying to remake probes that I don't properly do anything. Because I mean, something like that happens, and I know the warp prism is still out there, so I'm just paranoid that I'm going to get dropped again. What I probably should have done there was just pushed his ramp and applied pressure, knowing that I have two bases. He's not going to drop both of them at the same time, hopefully, and just deal with it as it goes. But you can see I'm not doing real well, and as far as catching up on the probes, he's keeping up with me. We're going to zoom through this because the rest of this game really isn't as important as that much of the game. I'm not going to be a jerk and call it there. Like, well, there's a lesson for you, kids. Don't when your main gets dropped, respond quicker or whatever. Because that little sneak. So I will let you see how the game ends. But look at what I do. I try to. I try to give him a taste of his own medicine. Look what I do. I'm like, oh no, I'm warping him in, and I want to move my warp prism so it doesn't get caught. But I forgot that you have to leave it there until they're done warping in. And if only I had stayed long enough to see this. Oh my gosh. So he's kind of going Zealot Colossus. That's what I'm going to call this. Do you think that would be accurate to say? That this army composition might be called Zealot Colossus? So there he goes, and bless his heart, Biggest Dickus is at least a nice guy. He's not. It doesn't describe his personality. We'll put it that way. But in the army supply, where's let's use this one. No, that's not the one. Which one is it? There you go. Army supply, he is not nearly as far ahead as I would have thought, and worker supply not nearly as far ahead as I would have thought. But I am using this guy to try to move around. I double expanded, hoping that I could catch up, and that actually, the double expand, I mean, you can see I'm really low on overall supply. This, like the discrepancy with workers and army combined, makes for a relatively significant discrepancy there, but it's only 20 points. And I double expanded. Of course, he dropped this one, took it out. What a jerk. So that warp prism play, if you can get good at it, can be super effective. And of course, I'm camped here, and he catches me there too. No, Wookie. It's amazing how, like, I remember as this game was going on, I thought I was so far behind. Even more so than I actually am when I watch the replay here. It turns out I wasn't super doomed. I mean, I was doomed, but I wasn't super doomed. Because that looks impressive. I was going to say, wow, this looks impressive, but then these showed up, and it actually does look impressive. And what I've got to battle it is I'm going to die pretty quickly. So that's unfortunate. But my drop harass not nearly as good as his. Ooh, battle. And I remember thinking at this point in the game that some of these have to be hallucinations. He can't have that many. And so I'm trying to get an observer out or something. I mean, I remember trying to get some detection to click on them and figure out which ones were hallucinations. The answer is 0 of them are hallucinations. So he's just wrecking me here. And I mean, they're 3-2. He was good on his upgrades. And this mini Colossus is just going to melt away armies. There was really nothing I could do about it with a gateway army. So maybe the second lesson we learned in this game is robo-bays are good. Okay. I decided I would go Starport a while ago, or Stargate. That didn't really work out. Turns out I didn't have a whole lot of money. He sure has a lot of money though. And then this kind of thing down here I thought I would do, but in retrospect I don't advocate it. Like, yeah, I see this, I can't win. I thought I would try to run up here and maybe he's undefended and I can just run in and kill a bunch of probes and get even, but one warp in and he's fine. So we're going to times 8 just to get to the end of the game, because we don't want to be here all day, but if we see the income tab, I'm just sickly behind, and he's just getting more and more ahead, which is what you're supposed to do. Let's see. Oh, I did it again. I dropped my warp prism here to try to harass, and lol failed. I just because okay, here's what I do. I get it up there and I hit E, right, to turn it into the thing, and then I warp in the units, and then I shift T and move it out, but it doesn't know that I'm shift. Like, it just does it. It doesn't wait for the warp in to finish. It's just like, oh, time to turn back into a transport and go. Okay, all right. So another thing that is cool is when you take your mothership into a guy's base and recall 16 Colossus. That's pretty sweet. That's a lot of lasers. Wow, that's a lot of lasers. Look at all those lasers. Archon Colossus mothership. Standard, totally standard late game army composition. 16 Colossus. In the unit counting station, you can see that I have 2 zealots and a warp prism. I'm still totally in this. Here I'm telling him I thought half of those Colossus were hallucinated. Oh, but it turns out Biggest Dickus measured up. He played a heck of a game. That was good stuff. So congratulations to you, sir. I did not lose this game to Mothership Colossus. I lost it to a warp prism drop that happened at about 6 minutes. This is just what he chose to kill me with. He could have killed me with whatever he wanted. He could have killed me with Void Ray Zealot if he wanted to. I just drug the game out a lot longer than I really needed to. But what I'm going to do after suffering this humiliating defeat is I'm going to try to get my Robo faster. We went 3-gate Robo expand, I believe, is the way that went down. And I think I'm going to go 2-gate Robo, 3-gate expand, get the 2 gates, get that Robo up a little bit faster. Because his warp prism was headed this way, if you're looking at the mini-map. Excuse me, throat's a little scratchy. But his warp prism was already on its way as my observer was being shunted out of the Robo Bay there. So my observer had just started and was just floating over this way, and his warp prism was already most of the way over. Remember, I dropped my Nexus just as it was coming here, and I usually go Observer Nexus. So I think I'm going to try to get that Observer out a little faster. If I get that Observer over there like 30 seconds faster and I'm running through here, I might see that warp prism, and then all this is avoided, right? And I did a poor job of realizing that he had brought his entire army over here, so I might have been able to actually win this game with just a repush pressure after that zealot harass. But anyway, guys, I appreciate you watching this game. Give me a thumbs up if you would. That helps a lot. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and do that. If you want to send me one of your replays to cast on the channel, just send it to wookiestarcraft@gmail.com. If you've got anything else you want to tell me, go ahead and do that at the same address, and get out there and have some fun on the ladder, guys. Don't worry about losing, because losing is learning. So don't give it any don't let it trouble you. I am Wookie, and we'll talk to you later.